welcome to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. It's currently 65 degrees sitting in the Fox River Valley. We're going to get a high of 75 and a low of 52. Tonight, I apologize. Tomorrow, we're going to be sitting at 82 degrees for our high, 61 for the low. According to AccuWeather, we're going to be having a real feel of 84. Thursday, again, for that 82 and 62 for the low, and again for that 84, but mostly sunny instead of the mostly cloudy we're going to get tomorrow. Friday, very warm with sun mixing with clouds with a high of 86, low of 67, and a 90 real feel. That all comes from AccuWeather. Today's news, we've got a few different things. The feds give the MetroTrack rights in the Union Pacific dispute. Also, there are a few neighbors who are upset about the proposed data center that we have been reporting on for the last couple of days. And Lake in the Hills have approved the new grocery tax. But before we get to that, let me read you your lottery numbers. Good luck, everyone. Here is Monday, September 8th, results for the lottery. The midday pick 3 came in at 0, 4, 8 with a 4 kicker. The midday pick 4 came in at 5, 3, 5, 1 with a 2 kicker. The evening pick 3 came in at 0, 6, 1 with that 8 on that fireball there. We've also got the evening pick 4, 6, 8, 6, 8 with that kicker of 2. Midday lucky, all 5 numbers coming in at 5, 28, 29, 31, and 44. The evening lucky is 3, 24, 32, 35, 39. The lotto extra shot worth $2.9 million. The lotto numbers coming in at 5, 7, 20, 26, 34, 40. That extra shot was 15. Million one is 13, 14, 19, 23, 26, 28. The million two, 1, 13, 19, 28, 45, 49. And that Powerball coming in at 26, 28, 41, 53, and 64. Let's do a quick snapshot before we head over to break for some of the local things. Super hyper local in Palatine, as part of an ongoing water main construction, East Reseda Parkway will be closed on both sides of Hicks Road in Palatine beginning Tuesday and lasting for about 14 days. Village officials said Reseda will be closed to both eastbound and westbound traffic on the west side of Hicks Road. On the east side of Hicks, it will be closed to the eastbound traffic. No detour will be posted, but alternatives include Carpenter, Juniper, and Marcia Drives. For more information, call the Public Works Department at 847-705-5200. One more thing before we head over to break. Learn how firefighters do their job when the Des Plaines Fire Department holds an open house on September 20th. The family-friendly event will run from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at station number 63. That's 130 East Thacker Street. Attendees can check out emergency vehicles, watch live demonstrations, and get safety tips. An obstacle course for kids and other activities are planned too. It is currently 65 degrees here in the Fox River Valley. You are listening to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. It is currently coming up to 12 after. My name is Dennis Green. We've got more news coming up after this.
At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service, better care. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. 800-785-1673. That's 800-785-1673.
Ever tried balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Looking for expert care in orthopedic or spine surgery? Prime Healthcare St. Joseph Hospital in Elgin is proud to offer top programs to our region. With a robust line of treatment options, St. Joseph Hospital specializes in minimally invasive procedures along with an advanced imaging suite to assist with orthopedic and back surgeries. Recognized by U.S. News and World Report as a high performer across multiple surgery types and home to highly trained expert healthcare professionals, St. Joseph Hospital is here for your every surgical need.
Welcome back to the 10 o'clock news. I'm Dennis Green. Batavia seeks painters for a new good energy mural. But before we get to that, a man pleads guilty to Glen Ellen armed robbery. A man accused of stealing THC cartridges from a teenager at gunpoint in Glen Ellen in April of 2020 pleaded guilty Monday. Samuel Holland of 24 of Hillside pleaded guilty to one count of armed robbery, no firearm, in exchange for a 12-year prison sentence, according to DuPage County court records. Authorities said Holland and two other men used Snapchat to arrange a meeting with a stranger to buy THC vaping cartridges. They also took the 16-year-old boy's Air Jordan gym shoes. The victim was sitting in his car when co-defendant Jones, 24, got in the front passenger seat and displayed a gun, authorities said. Co-defendant George then opened the driver's door and pointed a gun at the back of the victim's head, authorities said. The victim followed their car while calling 911. Police say they found two Glock 9mm handguns in the vehicle. George, 22, pleaded guilty in May to armed robbery. No firearm was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Jones pleaded guilty in July to armed robbery, no firearm, and was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Holland must serve 6 years before he is eligible for parole. And again, Batavia seeks painters for a new good energy mural. An art intimidating life, a new mural coming to Batavia will tout, quote, a city of good energy. And community members are invited to help paint the south wall of the Comedy Vault. The Batavia Public Art Initiative is seeking public support to fund materials and collaborate in the mural's installation this September. Volunteers will follow paint by number style instructions. A community reveal celebration is scheduled for 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturday, October 4th. The Public Arts Initiative from Batavia wrote, "Help us bring Batavia's spirit to life through art. By supporting this mural, we're helping create a vibrant getaway that reflects who we are, a city filled with creativity, generosity, and good energy." The mural was designed by artist Amy Decker, an art educator at Hinckley Big Rock High School. She was selected from more than 30 other artists. A colorful mural will depict people enjoying the Fox River Path, playful dogs, lush greenery, and radiant sunburst, harnessing the energy of Batavia's family-friendly community, according to the release. Designers hope the 24-foot by 20-foot mural will serve as a colorful design to visitors and residents to downtown Batavia. The artwork will celebrate Batavia's identity as a friendly, active, and creative community, home to multi-generational families and vibrant nature and thriving culture of artists and makers. Baumgartner of the Water Street Studios board members said, "We're thrilled to see this vision come to life with the help of our volunteers." Decker said she was excited to expand her creativity beyond the classroom. "Working with my students has grounded my work in connection, accessibility, and the power of art to bring people together," Decker said in the release. Michael Macroney, owner's representative of the downtown building, said he's proud to host the new landmark artwork. He said, "This wall has been part of my family's story for decades, and I can't think of a better way to honor my father and our community than by turning it into a symbol of Batavia's spirit." To donate to the project or register to participate, visit givebutter.com/WSS Gateway Mural. When we come back, we've got more information about training in the park with Gurnee. Also, Lake of the Hills have approved a grocery tax. You're listening to the 10 o'clock news here on WRMN. I'm Dennis Green. I'll be right back.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids right here in our own backyard are facing hunger every day? Without healthy food, it's harder to grow, to thrive, to feel their best.
The impact when children don't have enough to eat is tremendous because when you're hungry and your basic needs aren't being met, you cannot learn.
Every child deserves to be fed. This is a problem we know how to solve. Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Breakfast in the classroom contributes to kids being more focused, which leads to higher grades, and simply just their well-being.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
They were best friends, inseparable, in fact, until the day Miguel died. Every day his friend visited Miguel's grave. Rain, wind, weekends, holidays, every day. Miguel's closest friend, Capitan, his German Shepherd, is a symbol of loyalty to which we can all aspire. Loyalty. Pass it on from passiton.com.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. 3 were charged with stealing $500,000 plus from video gambling machines. 3 Chicago area men have been charged with stealing more than $500,000 from those video gambling machines at businesses throughout the suburbs. Illinois Attorney General's Office and prosecuting Annibal Alvarado III, 32 of River Drove, Diego A. Gonzalez, 22 of Chicago, and Dole J. Piazro, 32 of River Grove, saying they committed 16 burglaries in DuPage, Cook, Lake, and Will counties. It says they burglarized machines from August 2024 to May 2025. Among the victim businesses are a gambling parlor in Wheeling, a gasoline station in Addison, and a restaurant in Oakbrook Terrace, according to indictments. The case was referred from the Illinois Gaming Board, according to a news release. The charges were filed August 21st. Alvarado is scheduled to make his first court appearance September 30th in Cook County Circuit Court. Piazro appeared Monday in DuPage County Circuit Court, and Gonzalez is due to appear there Thursday. Alvarado is charged with theft between $10,000 and $100,000 and 2 counts of burglary. Gonzalez is charged with theft between $100,000 and $1 million and 13 counts of burglary. And Piaggio was charged with theft between $500,000 and $1 million and 15 counts of burglary. You can read more at the Daily Herald by Susan Sirakis. Training in the Park, Gurney's Training in the Park event will return beginning Tuesday, bringing 2 weeks community engagement and hands-on training at parks across the community. The police, fire, and public works departments will be visiting the park to showcase their skills, conduct drills, and connect with residents. All events begin at 6 p.m. at the following locations and dates: Vineyard Park, September 9th, Betty Russell Park, September 10th, Christine Thompson Park, September 11th, Ravinia Park, September 23rd, South Ridge Park, September 24th, and Hunt Club Park on September 25th. Lake in the Hills have approved a local grocery tax. Lake in the Hills is among the latest area municipalities to retain the grocery tax. Illinois lawmakers and Governor J.B. Pritzker opted to get rid of the 1% statewide grocery tax effective January 1st, but local communities were given the chance to enact their own by October. Hundreds of towns throughout the state have done so. The Lake of the Hills Village Board voted unanimously on August 28th to keep the tax. A member of the public weighed in before the vote, saying it is imposing taxes but isn't reducing the village's spending. Village Administrator Shannon Andrews said Lake in the Hills has kept its property tax levy flat for the past 15 years, which has made the village reliant on other sources of revenue. Andrews added the grocery tax wasn't new and, quote, it's really a restoration of what we have become dependent on in lieu of that property tax, unquote. The levy is expected to increase this year after the village board voted in the spring to eliminate special service areas. Special service levies are those imposed just on property owners within the designated area to provide specialized services. About 6,770 households were in a SSA according to village records. That's out of about 10,000 households in Lake in the Hills. Several SSAs were created in the 1990s and 2000s when the village was experiencing residential growth. The village will need to raise its levy by about $500,000 to absorb the special services expenditures, but staff recommended raising it incrementally over the next 3 years. This year's $163,420 increase would be about 3% and would equate to about $5.40 more in taxes for every $100,000 of home value, Andrews said in the spring. In Lake of the Hills, the grocery tax brought in an estimated $1.2 million in revenue in 2024, officials said. Village staff wrote in a memo to the board that losing that grocery tax revenue could affect capital improvement in future years of operating funds. We've also got a few other stories here just before we go. We've got neighbors who are upset about the proposed data center that we've been talking about, and the feds give MetroTrack rights in the UP dispute. But before we go, I want to remind you we're 11 days, 7 hours, 31 minutes, and 19 seconds away from America's First Responders Fest, where the proceeds from the event go to Canines for Veterans, also the Illinois Peer Support Team for firefighters and police. We've also got TruePatriotsCare.com. All of the proceeds for America's First Responders Fest will go to those places. What is America's First Responders Fest? Well, it's stage presentations, it's live entertainment, all in downtown Hampshire at 1 o'clock, rain or shine, September 20th. Classic Car Show by Gilbert Eagles Club at 1047. Vendor booths, food trucks, and kids' activities galore. Find more information at WRMN1410.com or call 847-741-7700. This is WRMN's 10 o'clock news. My name is Dennis Green. We'll be right back.
I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley. This update brought to you by VaxAssist.com. A Naperville man was charged with child pornography after a months-long investigation. 36-year-old Julian Zaborowski of the 1000 block of Heritage Drive was arrested on Friday. He faces 3 felony counts of dissemination of child pornography and 3 felony counts of possession of child pornography. Chrysler is recalling up to nearly 92,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee plug-in hybrid SUVs over a software error that could result in a loss of drive power. The recall applies to certain 2022 to 2026 models of the SUVs. The error can cause a vehicle to crash without prior warning due to an unexpected loss of propulsion, according to the recall report. A crash on I-55 in Will County early Sunday morning left 1 man dead and another person injured. The crash happened just before 3 a.m. on I-55 near Weber Road in Romeoville, according to Illinois State Police. Fox 32 reports troopers found the 2-vehicle crash in the southbound lanes involving a passenger car and a commercial vehicle. 2 people were taken to an area hospital with injuries. One of the individuals later died. The Will County coroner identified the victim as 22-year-old Derek Hernandez of Elgin. All southbound lanes were closed at IL-53 until a little after 8 a.m. The ISP was investigating the crash. 3 loaded guns and narcotics were recovered when Aurora police pulled a sedan over for a traffic stop August 30th near Route 30 and Route 31 in Montgomery. Special Operations Group investigators conducted the stop at about 10:57 p.m. after seeing a 2022 Nissan Sentra make multiple traffic violations. The car was occupied by 5 people, including 2 teens and 2 documented gang members. While searching the car, police say officers located 3 loaded semi-automatic handguns, one in the backpack of a 17-year-old boy, a second in the waistband of a 16-year-old boy, and a third under the front driver's seat. Police say a 21-year-old man from Aurora was carrying a small bag of suspected cocaine, and a 19-year-old man, also an Aurora resident, had an active warrant out for his arrest. I'm Trey Westerberg on 1410 WRMN Elgin, proudly serving the Fox River Valley.
Moms and dads, do you wish you could know where your kids' shoes are at all times? Now you can with Skechers' newest Apple AirTag compatible sneakers, Find My Skechers. There's a clever hidden AirTag compartment under the shoe's insole. It's sleek, secure, and your child can't feel or see it. Then you can check where your kids' shoes are on the Find My app. Plus, they're available for boys and girls. Get Find My Skechers at Skechers.com, a Skechers store near you, or wherever kids' shoes are sold. Apple AirTags sold separately.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to handle the busy holiday season, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
When disaster strikes, flood or fire, every second counts. At Emergency Construction Group, they specialize in immediate response and same-day service for any residential, commercial, or industrial emergency across the Chicagoland area. With over 30 years of experience, they've got the expertise, manpower, and equipment to handle any size loss fast. They follow strict IICRC guidelines to restore your property the right way, the first time. Their team values transparency, constant communication, and strong ethical standards because your peace of mind matters. Licensed, bonded, and insured, they're here for you 24/7, 365 days a year. Call 855-4ECG now. That's 855-432-4669. Or visit their website at emergencyconstructiongroup.com and let Emergency Construction Group put your life back together one step at a time. That's Emergency Construction Group. Your satisfaction is their passion.
This is Sarah Silver with your Fox Valley forecast. Today, partly sunny with a high near 76. This afternoon, temperatures falling to around 74. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low around 54. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high near 79, and mostly clear with a low around 57. Currently, it is 63 with clear skies. I'm Sarah Silver on the Talk of the Town, WRMN.
Your home equity could vanish almost overnight, stolen by scammers who forge a deed and transfer it out of your name. The FBI calls it house stealing, and the worst part is you may not know it until it's too late. Find out if you're already a victim now at HomeTitleLock.com. Use promo code RADIO for a 30-day free trial, a title scan, and access to a title specialist, a $250 value. Go to HomeTitleLock.com now. Promo code RADIO.
Hello and welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. It's good to see everybody out front on a beautiful day out here in the Fox River Valley. Broadcasting live from Studio 14, soon to be broadcasting from 16 here in the upcoming weeks. If you enjoy the WRMN 10 o'clock news, be sure to send us a message over at news@WRMN1410.com. We were working on a project about getting some more news over here with Mr. Skoning before he unfortunately passed. And so, if you are interested in becoming a part of the WRMN 10 o'clock news team, we are assembling all of those people as well. We need people for reviews. We need people for different areas of the community. And we need people like you to help me read the 10 o'clock news. Find, again, more information at WRMN1410.com or send a message to news@WRMN1410.com. If you have a story or if there's something pressing that you would like us to follow up on, make sure you send it on over to news@WRMN1410.com. We talked about it earlier in the show, and the feds have given agency track rights in the Union Pacific dispute. Metra and Union Pacific may be embroiled in a power struggle, but a significant federal ruling in commuter railroad favor ensures riders won't experience any drama, officials said Monday. The U.S. Surface Transportation Board agreed last week to award Metra rights over the tracks used by the UP North, Northwest, and West lines in the Chicago region. Union Pacific decided in 2019 it wanted to focus on freight and shift passenger operations to Metra. But the two are millions of dollars apart on the cost of using UP's tracks, according to legal documents. Metra Communications Director Mike Gillis said this ruling will allow Metra to continue operating on the three UP lines while negotiations continue with Union Pacific over the conditions and compensation regarding our use of its tracks. UP Senior Director of Communications Christian South said, Union Pacific has always been committed to ensuring that the commuter service provided to millions of Chicago riders will continue. With this guidance from the Surface Transportation Board, Union Pacific looks forward to working with Metra on a fair and reasonable resolution to the matter. UP Senior Director Christian South continued. Over the years, the two railroads have negotiated a plan to transfer staff and mechanical assets to the Metra, which became responsible for operating UP trains in May. However, the talks stalled over financial issues, resulting in litigation and appeals to the U.S. Surface Transportation Board. In May, UP presented Metra with new pricing to access its lines in the Chicago region, effective July 1st. And the agency sought intervention and trackage rights. Gillis went on to say, our goal throughout this process has been to reach an agreement based on objective industry standards, good faith negotiations, and the public interest. Metra's priorities remained to provide safe, reliable, and high-quality service for its passengers while being a good steward of taxpayer dollars, end quote. STB members reasoned that, quote, there is a compelling reason to award Metra terminal trackage rights over the UP lines, unquote, given it provided more than 13 million passengers trips in 2024. Metra's concerns that even a temporary cessation of service would have wide-ranging and harmful economic and social impacts had merit, officials concluded, adding there was a strong public interest at stake. If Metra's heavy trafficked public commuter rail service is subject to unreviewable terms and pricing set unilaterally by UP, it can disappear on a whim. That's not adequate service, the board stated. Again, find more information out there on the Daily Herald. This was written by Miss Pike. We're now sitting at 68 degrees here in Elgin. When we come back, we're going to talk about how neighbors are upset about the proposed data center that we've been reporting on here for the last couple of days. Stick around. Again, 68 degrees sitting in the Fox River Valley. We're sitting also at 41 minutes past the hour. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. This is the 10 o'clock news.
At Britain's Touchless Car Wash, they know life gets busy. That's why they're here 24/7 to keep your car looking spotless, fast, and easy. Their advanced brush-free wash technology delivers a sparkling clean without a single scratch, because they treat your car like it's their own. Here's the best part. Right now, you can get a free car wash just for joining their text club. It's simple. Just text BRITT to 30400, and your first wash is on them. Britain's Touchless Car Wash has two convenient locations, 1923 Larkin Avenue in Elgin and 555 Willow in West Dundee. They're proud to keep your car clean while giving back to our community. Text BRITT to 30400. That's BRITT to 30400 now for your free car wash, and see why Britain's Touchless Car Wash is the fast, gentle, and reliable choice.
Ever try balancing a dozen eggs in one hand while hopping on one foot? Or maybe juggling cats while riding the unicycle? Sounds ridiculous, right? But guess what? That's exactly what texting while driving is like. Your human brain only has the capacity to focus on one thing at a time. So when you're behind the wheel, give driving your undivided attention.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Fitting in shouldn't be hard, whether in life, on the court, or in the classroom. At Elgin Community College, you could find your place alongside those expanding their horizons, exploring rewarding careers, and achieving their dreams. A place for doers, thinkers, and believers. At ECC, we see you, we believe in you, and you'll fit right in. Learn more at elgin.edu/belong.
Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. Alex Tanacon, Allstate Insurance in Elgin, reminds everyone that the blood you donate gives someone another chance at life. Someday that someone might be a friend, a loved one, or even you. So please give blood and give the gift of life. This message courtesy of Alex Tanacon, Allstate Insurance at 1130 Dundee Road in Elgin. Trust their years of experience for all your insurance needs. Call Alex Tanacon, Allstate Insurance at 847-697-5900. That's 847-697-5900. Before we get to the neighbors who are upset about the proposed data center, let's talk about Schaumburg to dedicate 12 acres, 90 North Park with community event. After 4 years and approximately $14 million of development, the village of Schaumburg will celebrate a key moment in the evolution of its 12-acre 90 North Park on Viridian property with musical entertainment and food at a community event this month. Schaumburg Live will kick off at the park on the new Promenade Drive near the southwest corner of Algonquin and Meacham Roads at 3 p.m. Saturday, September 27th. Tribute bands performing the music of Oasis, Coldplay, and U2 will take the stage, while food trucks on the Promenade Drive will serve food from Ben & Jerry's, Holy Smokes Barbecue, My Concita Grill, Pierogi Rig, and Serrana's Grill, Monster Gyros, and Sporty's Restaurant and Catering, Toasties Cheese, and Traveling Tom's Coffee Truck. The event is meant to highlight the amenities added to the park since 2022, but especially Promenade Drive itself, which helps define the shape of the recreational area. Schaumburg Economic Development Director Matt Frank said. The park and international roadways are the village main public contributions to the large private redevelopment of the 225-acre site. Part of the former Motorola corporate campus, now known as Viridian. Among the park's existing components are water feature plaza area, tilted lawn zone, a terraced plaza, pedestrian bridges, flexible gathering spaces, a hammock grove, walkways, seating, a bike path, bike racks, and drinking fountains. A temporary stage will be set up for the event's musical entertainment, but a permanent band shell is among the ideas for future additions to the urban-style park. Frank said there's still significant investment that needs to be made. In fact, the village board is expected to give this authorization Tuesday to an application for an open space lands acquisition and development OSLAD grant of up to $500,000 for such work from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources. Reviews of applications for possible grant funding is expected to be completed within 6 months, Frank added. Funding for the park so far has come exclusively from the area's tax increment financing district. These funding mechanisms work by freezing the property taxes local governments receive at a level of each first year. As improving properties' values, the taxes rise. The incremental increase goes to a village-held fund to pay for public improvements. Parking will be available in the south parking lot of the Atrium building at 1301 East Algonquin Road and at the remaining Motorola building at 2000 Progress Parkway. As we go on, the neighbors upset about a proposed data center development in Naperville. We've been following this story as we reported on last week. But the existing infrastructure attracted a data center developer roughly 40 acres of vacant land within Naperville's Interstate 88 corridor. Karis Critical has proposed a pair of data centers near Naperville and Warrenville roads. A glass and steel building designed years ago for Lucent Technologies formerly occupied the site. There's, quote, quite a bit of fiber optic cable, unquote, tied to the original Lucent campus, Karis CEO Brett Rogers said. So much of the public discourse around data centers is tied to AI data centers and hyperscale cloud data centers, very, very large facilities, he said. What we're proposing, we'd call a co-location data center or a metro data center. These tend to be a little bit smaller, tend to be highly networked, and that's the kind of why we like this site so much. The project, however, has sparked opposition among residents of recently constructed townhouses in Napier Commons and more established neighborhoods who say a data center campus belongs in heavier industrial area. Charles Desmond, who lives in Napier Commons, said, "We understand data centers are essential hubs of the digital world. However, their operation often comes with a number of costs. Opponents have voiced concerns about power consumption, water use, noise, and use and testing of backup generators. They're worried about residential property values and local forest preserves. If fully developed, the 2 proposed data center buildings would total roughly 422,500 square feet. Lionheart, who lives in Donna Woods, adding it up, who wants to live at a close to a data center campus. No one near this proposed site. When we come back, we'll continue our story here, all about the public hearing that's happening on October 15th. You can read more about it on the Daily Herald. The headline is Odd Thing Out. Neighbors upset about proposed data center development in Naperville. This is the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I am Dennis Green. You'll be right back.
This is Larry Jones, and I'd like to talk to you about my bank, American Eagle Bank in South Elgin. Has your bank changed names in the last 10 years? Is your bank another faceless branch with headquarters in another city? Are you tired of earning next to nothing on your savings account or certificates of deposit, or does your personal banker treat you like a stranger? If you answered yes to any of those questions, then you're ready for a new banking experience, and American Eagle is the place for you. American Eagle is a locally owned independent bank that's rooted in the community, and American Eagle customers are greeted by name and treated with the respect that they deserve. American Eagle has an innovative program, Eagle Savings, that teaches your children to save while earning prizes and rewards. American Eagle offers great rates on certificates of deposit. My bank is located in South Elgin on Randall Road between the Target and Caputo's and is open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 847-742-7400, and a real person will answer the phone. American Eagle Bank, a place where you matter.
Want to read some action-packed, exciting pulp fiction? Read the works of Michael Tooman, now featuring the international crime thriller, I Married a Bot Madam. Available on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and Kindle editions. The paperback is also available at other book retailers. Check out Michael Tooman's webpage at Silink.net. That's Papa, Sierra, Yankee, Lima, India, November, Kilo. November Echo Tango.
Monday Night Football is here, and your Chicago Bears are taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Don't miss a second of the action as these NFC North rivals battle it out under the lights. Tune in this Monday night to 1410 a.m. WRMN, your home for every Bears game all season long. Kickoff, big plays, and all the excitement live right here in Elgin on 1410 a.m. WRMN.
Welcome back to the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I want to remind you that this weekend, September 13th, the Douglas Avenue here in Elgin will be shut down because of the Friends of Mason's 6th annual Mexican Independence Day caravan. Will be started over here from Highland, walking all along Douglas. Road closures start Saturday, September 13th, and that'll be 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Cars will begin staging the former Sherman Hospital lot at 7 a.m., and the caravan will step off promptly at 9 a.m. The Friends of the Masons, local non-for-profit organization, hosting the 6th annual Mexican Independence Day caravan on September 13th at 9 a.m. Head on down to downtown Elgin to be all a part of that. The Daily Herald has a fantastic article all about the odd thing out about how neighbors are upset about the proposed data center development. We reported on it just last week, and it seems like some of the news has gotten to the rest of the world. Each of the data centers is planned at 36 megawatts or 72 megawatts total of capacity. Karis proposes that the development of the data center campus in phases, starting with a building in the southwest portion of the site. The Eastern Data Center and the utility substation would be constructed in the future, depending on the availability of necessary utility infrastructure, said Sarah Kopaninsky, who's part of the city planning services team. Phase 1 of development can be adequately served by the public utilities and services, quote, including sufficient capacity available on the city's electric infrastructure, she said. As a result, city staff recommends approval of Phase 1 subject to a list of conditions. However, staff recommended the developer submit a new conditional use application for Phase 2 at a future date, once adequate electrical power is available and any unforeseen issues that may arise with Phase 1 have been addressed. The public hearing is expected to continue October 15th. The city is in process of securing a third-party sound engineer to review the developer's noise study, verify the data center's campus will operate in compliance of the city's regulations, and determine if any additional improvements are recommended to mitigate potential noise impacts, Komplomsky said last week. It's likely to be a multi-tenanted facility, Rogers said. Garris expects banks, insurance agencies, and other groups that maintain their own IT infrastructure in the space. Again, read more at thedailyherald.com. This article was written by Caitlin Smith. You've been listening to the 10 o'clock news here on WRMN. Don't forget that coming up right after the top of the hour is Cruises International. We'll make sure that we get you hooked up with the right concierge. And then later on at noon, we've also got Dean DeLaley coming in with his Knights of Columbus Brethren. And make sure that you stick around because we are only 11 days, 7 hours, 1 minute, and now 38 seconds away from America's First Responders Fest, Saturday, September 20th in downtown Hampshire, rain or shine. I will see you there. My name is Dennis Sonar Green. This has been the WRMN 10 o'clock news. I'll see you tomorrow.